Okay, next up.
100 years ago, the Titans arrived.
And just like that, everything changed. We knew home was a pen, humanity, cattle.
In the aftermath of that reckoning, humanity struggles for survival inside a great walled city. Eren Yeager has spent his entire life inside those walls, wondering what's on the other side.
We live in a cage. All we do is eat and sleep.
Unfortunately, he's about to find out.
It's impossible. That wall's 50 meters high.
Because the Titans are back. And they only want one thing. To devour every human on Earth.
The entire city's as good as dead.
Shut up for a second! We're trained for this!
Now, Eren and his friends will have no choice but to fight back against impossible odds or die screaming.
If it comes to it, lay down your lives!
The Titans are coming, and humanity is on the menu.
This is it, people! Do or die!
Attack on Titan, premiering next Saturday night at 11:30. Only Toonami on Adult Swim. Attack on Titan, premiering January 9th at 12:30. Only Toonami on Adult Swim.
Another monumental Adult Swim Toonami era gets that recently ended, and yeah, it's kind of insane. Attack on Titan, and for this, I am including the entirety of Attack on Titan, not like the multiple seasons, because for some reason,
They did it that way.
for some reason,
I-
Toonami Wiki wants to
I-
list Attack on Titan in separate seasons. But sorry, you were saying?
I love Attack on Titan. This is one of my favorite animes of the 2010. It's so good.
It's crazy because like I remember a lot of people talked about it, and I remember consistently seeing a bunch of Attack on Titan references because everyone always points to like the colossal over the wall while Eren is down there and all that. I would not watch Attack on Titan until season 2 made its round. So like when season 2 was coming out, that's when I gave season 1 a watch, and like I enjoyed it a lot. I would not say that I seasons 1 and 2 I watched Attack on Titan, but like I enjoyed it, but that was about it. It wasn't until halfway through season 3 that I actually started to really pay attention to the show and really give it my all here. And especially when season 3 ended and you got that whole backstory with his father and how like
Oh, yeah.
humanity when humanity isn't like it's not the apocalypse, it's just that you're a race of people that are oppressed but because you have some terrifying power or whatever, like that Jesus Christ, like that was such a freaking heel turn. Like who you wouldn't think that right from the beginning. And then it's crazy because the author knew this from the beginning, because you go back to like season 1 and all that, and you look in the background, like there are details that like you don't notice on your first viewing, and you go back there and there they are. And it's so crazy how like the author managed to literally tie everything back around to the beginning and the ending. Like it's yeah, we mentioned this in our podcast episode, but like it's not the perfect ending, but it was the ending the show needed to be. um um I had something else to say and I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. However, getting to the ending was such a freaking pain in the ass because they want to say it's the final season, and 3 years later, and we're still watching the final season. It's like it's 2020. I'm watching the final season of Attack on Titan. It's 2021. I'm watching the final season of Attack on Titan. But when it finally did end, it was amazing. But how do y'all feel on Attack on Titan?
Like I said, I love it. It's one of my favorite animes. Honestly, it's probably one of the best shows Toonami's ever ran. I truly adore this show a lot.
Bold. Very bold. First season of Attack on Titan, I thought it was super, super cool. It kind of cooled off on it in the middle, and then as it came to an end, I was like, yeah, that was pretty satisfying overall. I think it's a fairly strong production overall. There are things about it I wish were different, but
Yeah, I'm a little torn about parts of the final season, but overall, I still really love it. I probably will go back and rewatch it again because
It's
it's
just
that good.
it's just crazy to think that like the main character who you thought was the good guy turned out to be the bad guy. And it's also kind of funny because a while back, I want to say maybe a year or two ago, I watched
The best is that he's just an idiot that came across great powers.
like
it's not a good excuse, Aaron.
No, it's not.
It's not a good excuse for total genocide. It's not.
It's actually kind of funny because I made a joke of like, damn, if I had a nickel for every time Bryce Papenburg played a character who tried to incite mass I don't want to say mass genocide, but like mass murder, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird it happened twice. For him as Aaron, and currently he's playing Higurashi in Psalm 100. You know, the guy that sets fire to his village and lets loose all the zombies.
That's a much lower scale, but
I mean,
okay.
the lower scale I know, but like, I don't know. That's what I thought of immediately, like when he made his announcement. Shit, I felt like I had something else and then I forgot. Oh yeah, I was like, if anyone else had anything to say on Attack on Titan.
Great show.
The greatest of all time.
So where would y'all rank it then? Do you want to say it's S or A?
I would lean towards A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably go with A also.
There's some story parts in season 4 where I'm like, I'm not fully gel with that.
So
How about after Big O?
After Big O, are you fine with that, Logan?
Of course I am. Well,
Oh wait,
Big O, yeah.
oh wait, after Big O. I'm thinking before Big O. Never mind. All right, Attack on Titan. Like, I mean, it's still crazy. It's just crazy whenever like a long running like manga or show like finally sees its end. Like, sorry.
We're getting close. We're getting close on another one.
Yeah, My Hero's hitting its end too soon, but we'll get there. But next up,
Bruce Wayne is younger.
Where are you going?
Hot date.
Alfred is even more of a badass.
Just who exactly are you? I'm the butler.
And Gotham's villains, Batman, know they must.
It only gets worse from here.
Beware the Batman. Starting next Saturday night at 3. Only Toonami on Adult Swim.
Beware the Batman. The only thing I know about this was that it was another show that was written off, and I think Toonami had to burn out the rest of the episodes the day before.
Yeah, they burned off the best episodes.
Yep.
It probably would have been better for them to just kind of pull the schedule from midnight to 3 a.m. and just kind of run Beware the Batman at that point, but okay, whatever, fine, burn it off from 3 a.m. to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I
really
like
had
it.
to run Space Dandy that night, so.
Yeah. I like the show.
I guess that was actually the night Attack on Titan ended, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So I think so too. Wow.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Might have been, yeah.
What, like the when season 1 ended?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like a real rough week.
Oh, sure was.
I liked the show because I thought it was nice that they were kind of going with the lesser known villains from the Batman canon.
The lesser rogue gallery of
Yeah, like
Batman.
I thought it was
Professor
a nice,
Pig,
it was
Mr.
a nice
Toad.
change. I mean, wasn't the best Batman show, but I liked it. I thought it was pretty fun.
I thought it was
Honestly,
pretty good.
Was
I
it
think
by
the Green Lantern CGI series that was airing around the same time is better than Beware the Batman, but Beware the
Oh
Batman
yeah,
is still a good show.
yeah. Green
I was-
Lantern animated series is really good.
I-
Beware the Batman is. I think it's unfortunate or fortunate that there are so many great Batman shows. So like you got animated series, you got Brave and the Bold, you got Batman Beyond, you got the Batman, and you got Beware the Batman. So by process of elimination, it's just not the best Batman show, but it's still a good show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely a good way to put it.
So would y'all put this in C then or higher?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
C. I'm almost tempted to put it right next to the Batman.
I was thinking that too.
Honestly,
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Might as
I
well.
mean, like better
It's
than
better-
Thundercats and
It's a
Sword Art
better
Online.
watch than Thundercats.
yeah.
Uh,
The advantage you have with like a Batman show also is like what sets it apart from Thundercats is you don't necessarily need an end to a Batman show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's if it's just the final episode,
Batman's
it's like,
not
okay,
going on some epic journey to find some dangus.
right. So it's like if it's just the last episode, it is what it is. So yeah, I think that definitely gives it the leg up over Thundercats.
Thundercats just wanted to be pirates of Darkwater.
oh my god.
Like I feel like the pirate episode of Thundercats, the sand pirate episode, was like this. They really wanted to be pirates of Darkwater.
Jesus
They really
Christ. All right. Next up.
Digging tunnels. Day after day, that's my job.
This village is all we have.
We're sick of being cooped up in this little town. It's the young who are gonna break out. Youth of this town, aim for the surface!
Kamina! There's something you've got to see! Huh? I think it's running!
Can we drive it?
Adios, Jiha Village. We're going up to the surface.
Look, you think it's some kind of wonderland up here,
Let's go!
but it isn't.
When facing impossible odds
There are more of these things?
The place is crawling with them!
in an unknown world,
Human scum!
there's only one thing to do.
Are you guys ready?
Fight.
I can't do this! Kick logic out and do the impossible! That's the way Team Gurren rolls! A combining of courage that sets a man's soul on fire! Gurren Lagann!
Gurren Lagann premieres next Saturday night at 2. Dig deep. Only Toonami on Adult Swim.
Gurren Lagann.
Certified
Reese-
peak.
Hell
Reese-
yes.
Yes.
I saw it a couple of years back, and then I recently saw the movies in theaters because Aniplex put out those movies in theaters, and yeah, the movies are just like compilations of the show, but like, I mean, Logan could tell you better, but like the animation. I mean, they have some new animations, so they tell some events differently. I will say I like the movie events of the second half way better than I did the TV version of the events. Somewhat like the final fight where they form like Tengen Toppa during
Yeah,
Lagann.
it's a more epic ending.
Yeah, I like that a lot more because when I was watching it, of course, like I was all hyped, but I felt like the final fight in the TV show went by too freaking quick. Like I felt like there needed to be more, and the movie just rectified that. But yeah, Gurren Lagann top easily S.
That's a great show. I love it. One of my favorite animes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, if it's the last thing Gainax ever did, even if it's effectively Proto Trigger, it's a good way. You know, it's a good way to go out.
aren't they? Didn't they like recently announce some sort of collaboration with Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill?
So because Gynax has been losing money hand over fist for decades, they sold the rights off, just like they did with Fooly Cooly, where IG bought the rights to that. They sold the Gurren Lagann rights to Trigger and Konami, which Konami already owned part of it. But basically, it's now been transitioned over to Studio Trigger completely.
Ah, yes, Konami, owner of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Gurren Lagann.
Very weird, but okay.
And, yeah, I remember seeing the Konami logo and the movie screen is like, what?
Oh yeah, I was like,
Okay.
wait, Konami?
It was funny because Konami was hurting for money for a while there too, and I was like, oh, who's gonna give up the ghost first, Konami or Gynax? And well,
Gynax didn't have pachinko machines.
Yep.
Well, they had some.
Well, considering that Konami's like putting out video games again, I think they're hurting. I don't know how all that works. But where would y'all put Gurren Lagann, like on the S tier?
Above Rurouni Kenshin for sure.
Yeah.
Would you put it above
Full Metal?
Would you put it above Samurai Jack?
Yes.
Yeah.
Technically, Samurai Jack got its ending from Gurren Lagann, somewhat.
Yeah.
It's funny too because when I watched,
I'd put it above DBZ.
Yeah.
Funny. It's funny too because when I watched Gurren Lagann, I think it was like 2018. So when I saw the ending, I screamed, "What the fuck? This show pulled a Samurai Jack?" And then Silver was like, "No. Samurai Jack pulled the Gurren Lagann."
Yeah.
Gurren Lagann. It was it this year or last year that it turned 15, like 15th year anniversary.
Technically last year.
Technically last year.
I mean, it's one of those we're getting a full 1 year 15th anniversary celebration kind of things.
Yeah, and then they put those movies out, but of course they're like stupid expensive now because Aniplex.
$140. Just for the dub, I don't think I can double dip.
Yeah, well, and let's just say there's a bunch of technical issues that I take some personal affront to when it comes to the way they decided to release those discs.
Gross.
So,
all right, moving on.
Next up.
For over a century, the Helsing organization has served the British Empire, fighting a secret war against the forces of darkness.
There have recently been multiple vampire attacks within their borders.
There's no use running.
Far too many to be pure coincidence.
Guns won't help you either.
We are the monsters that protect England from the other monsters.
You're agents of vampire?
He is nothing like any vampire you've ever known.
They tell stories of your amazing strength.
He is truly inhuman, this one. This stranger from the night.
It's time to educate you on how a real vampire does battle.
Welcome to the eve of war.
Search and destroy!
It shall be done.
You will be cut down like straw.
Come on, then.
Helsing does not run from our enemies. Kill them all!
I haven't had this much fun in ages.
Toonami is proud to present the 10-part OVA, Helsing Ultimate, starting next Saturday night at 3. Open wide.
You made it. Congratulations.
Only Toonami on Adult Swim.
Helsing Ultimate. So this one, for the longest time, I have only seen the Team 4-star Helsing Ultimate Abridged parody. I have never actually seen the vanilla
Give that
Helsing
bitch
Ultimate.
a cannon, bitches love cannons.
Give that bitch a cannon, bitches love cannon.
It was a very enthusiastic walk.
I put Hellsing Ultimate on my list and I watched it, and the entire time I'm watching it, I'm just quoting the abridged show.
Boondock
That was
Saints.
like literally everyone when they were watching it during Toonami. It's like, no, we're going to be quoting Team 4-Star during this.
It was just like, God, I'm trying to remember. It was like, police girl, put my head between your boobs, and and then there was it was I can't believe what surprises me more, the fact that the church strong armed you, or the fact that you didn't see what I did to the statue of Big J, the Jesus 420 yellow swag.
Hooray! It's the Catholic Church. Oh no, it's the Catholic Church.
But going on to the action,
Lucky Charms.
But going on to the actual like show itself, not the abridged, because it was my first time watching it, so I'd like.
I'm still amazed they played this.
It's still amazing. Like,
and almost uncut.
I had a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of
scenes here and there, but practically in full.
I had a lot of fun with it. Some of the extra bits kind of weirded me out though. Like, the show would look all super serious, but then like Alucard would have like a drug trip dream sequence of like sunflowers and all that. The one that caught me off guard was that there's a bunch of different voices shouting to Alucard. One of them supposedly David. Fuck, I'm forgetting his name. Oh no, not David. Bruce Willis. It was like Bruce Willis. And then the one that got me was the end where this guy says, "I'm the negotiator," and that's clearly Steve Bloom, and that's supposed to be a Big O reference. And it was just stuff like that, and then also I didn't know that there would be necrophilia in the show. That caught me off guard, and I was like, okay,
amazing how much of that they showed.
I was gonna say, like, they had to have taken that off.
They cut out some things. They didn't.
They edited some sexual assault on a child, which appreciated. Didn't you want to see that?
But like overall, I had a lot of fun with Hellsing Ultimate, and I mean, it's like the same experience that I had watching the abridged series, but like just watching the original. I will say I really like Crispin Freeman as Alucard.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what's crazy though? The police girl thing, right? I thought that was only something from abridged. So when he was calling her police girl there, I was like, wait, this was actually from the source.
Yeah.
And then the other one was when the pair of brothers are attacking the organization, and the young Valentine like is like just off his fucking rails and just killing guys and saying, "I'm so fucking hard right now." I'm like, so he's not too far off from what he was in abridged.
Not too far off.
But yeah, and also
it's
like
an absolutely ridiculous show that unfortunately has kind of a stinker ending.
Yeah, the ending. Honestly, I'd argue the last 2 episodes weren't that great.
They're not.
I was also gonna say, because there was an original
Walter's face turn
show.
is such bullshit. Why'd that even happen?
I was also gonna say, because like there is an original Hellsing show. What would you say is the better, Ultimate or the original?
Ultimate.
Ultimate.
By far.
Even with the ending. Okay. Well, yeah.
So the thing is that the original was done by Gonzo, the original Hellsing series, and then this was done by Madhouse and a bunch of other studios. So the OVA is leagues above better than the original.
All right. So
the original's got pretty good music.
That's about
all can be said about it.
Where would y'all rank Hellsing Ultimate then?
B? I think it's
B.
I could say the bottom of B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it gets stinky, but it's still a really good time.
Yeah, it's a fun watch.
Yeah.
And next up,
Here we go!
Insolent fool.
No one comes to Earth and pushes us around.
There's nothing you can do to stop me!
Earth's heroes have returned.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
And they're kicking even more ass this time.
I gave you one last chance to walk away and you blew it!
Watch Dragon Ball Z the way it was meant to be seen.
Yeah, I'm in.
Right here with us. Uncut.
Please spare me! I beg!
Die. Toonami is proud to present Dragon Ball Z Kai. Starting next Saturday at midnight.
Rather impressive, isn't it?
Never felt a power like this before.
Only Toonami on Adult Swim.
This ends now!
It's really happening! Boo is finally coming back to life!
There is not a person alive who can defeat Majin Buu.
This foe is beyond anything you've ever fought before.
Never sensed anything like it.
We're dealing with pure evil. Destruction is his only goal.
Is that Majin Buu?
No, Gohan, look out!
He'll bring calamity down on all of us.
What kind of monster is he?
This is Majin Buu.
If he continues his rampage of terror, gone will be the days of peace and tranquility for all living creatures in the universe.
What is that?
Some special effect.
I'm not going to hell by myself! I'm taking you all along for the ride! This is a fine mess we find ourselves in. We have to get away from here as fast as we can! Is that the best you've got?
Boo goes the dynamite. DBZ Kai, the Boo Saga. Starting next Saturday night at midnight.
something, I guess, like going into some stuff that I'm excited about. This is my first anime ever, Dragon Ball Z Kai, because I saw this on Nicktoons Network, and then I would later, years down the road, would just be scrolling through my TV guide, and I saw DBZ Kai on my TV guide, and it turns out that was Toonami, and that introduced me to Toonami. So DBZ Kai, I have to thank essentially for me being here now. Dragon Ball Z Kai. When I first saw it, and it was Nicktoons, so it was partially censored, and I didn't know that at the time. But then looking back on it, it was censored, yeah, but it wasn't terrible. Like, it had a run on 4Kids, which was way worse.
Blue Popo. And they edited the dragon out of the opening. Why'd they even do that?
So stupid.
It's just Ball Z Kai.
So like,
so
like, I wasn't on the internet much, but like the few times I would hear about DBZ Kai, everyone was like, "Oh, it's such a kid-censored show. DBZ is so much better, hardcore, and all that." And then years down the road, like when I saw it on Adult Swim, and I'm seeing Goku spill blood from his fight with Vegeta.
With us.
So then that's when I realized, and then doing some more research, because that's when I was really on the internet, was that DBZ Kai was essentially just supposed to be like the true to the manga edition of the anime, and the only reason why it gets the reputation of being censored is because like Nicktoons and 4Kids were the first like places that would air, which makes me wonder, do you think DBZ Kai would have had the same reputation if, say, like it aired on Adult Swim at first, or like on some other like adult pretty much like Uncut?
If it aired on Cartoon Network, if they were still interested in airing anime back then, I think it probably would have been edited way less.
Yeah. Well, like the looking back on it, I don't think the Nicktoons run of Kai was bad, like censored wise. Like I think they just turned the blood white, and like some of the deaths. And yeah,
that does look wrong.
Yeah. Although I
was watching it on Nicktoons and I thought this is fine. I think it's leagues better than the Saban episodes. but the thing about Kai, the thing about Kai is even in Japan it had some censorship from DBZ, which is what a lot of people like. The Goku's hole in his stomach when he gets shot by Piccolo's beam to stop Raditz is like, oh, it's so censored. It's like, chill out, man.
Was it because it was airing on a different time slot or whatever?
It's fun, yeah, because it was on a morning time slot in Japan.
I guess one of the other biggest sins or biggest things about the show was the original soundtrack, the Yamamoto soundtrack, which
I really like the Yamamoto soundtrack.
Which unfortunately, because of all the plagiarism, at the very least for me, at least I actually got to experience the Yamamoto soundtrack since it was on Nicktoons. So they had that version for the longest time, and then the plagiarism stuff happened, and I think some of the later episodes got replaced with the older score. So I do remember a good chunk of episodes with the Yamamoto score.
And then they replaced all the earlier episodes with a not great version of just mixing in Kikuchi tracks, which is...
I was also going to say...
Kikuchi's music is great. It doesn't work that well if you don't put it in the right place.
I was also going to say, because the one other thing I heard is that when Kai aired in 2014, didn't they accidentally air the first episode with the Yamamoto
They did,
score?
and I wonder how far they could have gotten with the Yamamoto score if people just didn't say anything.
Yeah, because, I know Funimation had, it's probably about 75% or 80% with the Yamamoto score, because the original Blu-ray releases up until, because I think it was, I don't want to say it's 9 volumes, up until 7 or 8, they had released it, because I have the original versions, and then the last couple volumes they delayed one of them because they had to cancel the release and redo it with the replaced music. Then they finished it off with the replacement music, and then went back and redid the rest of the discs with the replacement Kikuchi score. So Funimation themselves had quite a few of the episodes with the Yamamoto score.
Didn't Japan get as far as literally the second to last episode with the Yamamoto score?
It broadcast that way, but the Blu-rays over there didn't get that far. They got roughly as far as the Funimation ones did, if I remember right. But yeah, broadcast-wise, yeah, it's there's only 2 episodes that don't exist with the Yamamoto score.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but DBZ Kai, it's essentially Dragon Ball Z better. Fight me, I don't care. It is DBZ better. Although I should note, I'm also
the final chapters.
Yes, this is. I was going to say that right now. This also includes final chapters. Which, can I just say, when I discovered
Have you
this,
seen my final chapters? You can't miss it. It's green.
I just want to say, me personally, when you get exposed to the series, the way Nicktoons handled things were just weird, because they aired DBZ Kai, which consisted up to Cell Saga, but then I remember this. Cell became perfect. He absorbed 18 and he turned into his perfect form. The show went on a hiatus for months. And to fill the gap, they were airing the DBZ movies. So movies like Broly, Cooler, BoJack, all that. And keep in mind, they didn't really care. My knowledge was up to Cell becoming perfect, and they were giving movies that were taking place later in the timeline, like Broly, like BoJack. They did Fusion Reborn. They also did the Wrath of the Dragon. So I'm seeing Super Saiyan 3 when I'm not supposed to. And then
that's not that different from how things went back in the early days either.
Yeah, and then Kai finished, which was up to Cell Saga, and then they aired GT, and I already mentioned that last time when we ranked GT. And then it's funny too, because because I would later learn that yes, the Boo Saga exists, and I'm like, well, is there not a Kai version of Boo Saga? And well, what do you know? We would get that later, for better or
Find it
worse.
funny that Toei is like, you can't release the Blu-ray of the final chapters until it airs on television, and lo and behold, they did, which explains why Laura Bailey's in the dub.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I remember seeing online like the final chapters existed for quite a while, and it took such a long
Yes.
time to come out.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened. I would assume that their Nicktoons deal fell apart and that basically the rights expired and Adult Swim was like, hey, we'll take it. But
And I
that's
was,
ours.
but
Yeah.
I was
And
also
I
gonna
think it
say
wasn't
we're,
even gonna air in Japan, except they had an opening.
I like the Japanese opening of final chapters more than I do the English one. It's a completely different track. If you haven't seen it, look it
Fight
up.
it out. Fight it out.
No, it's not Fight It Out. It's called like I don't know the translation, but Kuken Setsu Go. Like it's a completely different opening than
Is that the one done by the guy who does the Hunter x Hunter opening?
maybe.
I don't Fight It Out I'm thinking of.
But yeah, so where would we rank DBZ Kai? Because I will say it like for the first section of DBZ up to Cell Saga, it does it like tells the events better. Less filler. Like Tom says in the recent bumper, more action, less filler.
It's the best way to watch DBZ if you want to watch DBZ.
I mean, I'd put it above regular DBZ because
it's the best dub.
Yeah, I would say the dub is more accurate. It doesn't try to punch stuff up. They kind of go back and forth on like, oh, are we going to translate the attacks more similar to the Japanese, or technically not even translate them? And then they've kind of gone back on that in later stuff. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag there, but I think the tightened up pacing overall and the better dub for me puts it above OG DBZ.
Final chapters kind of brings down the dub a little bit, though.
It does. That's true.
Because the Boo Saga DBZ dub was really good.
It was, and plus the fact that the Boo Saga international cut meanders for like an extra 12 episodes, which I've never understood why they like just tacked on a bunch of more episodes.
It's funny because
about reducing filler, and yet here you are giving us more episodes than the Japanese run. That doesn't make sense.
It's funny because the Japanese version, was kind of different. Let's not forget. It's technically also we had the I don't know if it's unofficial, but we had Team 4-Star on Toonami for like that one night, and then
only in the promo because somebody said something and then they got a different version of the episode.
Toei got all pissed about it. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, didn't they air it the
one time?
Let him
say Toei is still pissed about it to this day.
My understanding is the episode got posted on the streaming version by mistake for like 12 hours, and thankfully somebody grabbed it before it was taken down.
I love the Team 4-Star stuff in that.
God, that was so good. That was like such a tongue-in-cheek way to handle that, to reference it. But of course,
no, they had to ruin it, and they literally just used the dub from the Boo Saga.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Which was very strange.
It feels like a last-minute decision.
So, would you put it above DBZ then?
See, the thing is, legacy-wise, DBZ, like legacy-wise, is doing the heavy lifting for DBZ for me in general.
True.
And Kai does not have that legacy, though it was a very important part of Saturday Toonami. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
True.
Oh, yeah. It was their anchor for many, many years, and I guess it is still their anchor.
Yeah.
So,
would you keep it?
I don't know.
Would you keep it in S tier or A tier?
I mean, I wouldn't put Z in S tier anyway, but like I guess it should be right ahead of DBZ because it is the better dub overall.
We'll put them like neck and neck.
I don't know.
How does everyone else feel about it?
I'm fine with it.
It's fine. Yeah.
All right, and then next up,
They say all good things come to an end. But we say, to hell with that.
This place is crawling with demons! I'll cut every single one of them down!
Join Inuyasha, Kagome, and the rest of the gang
Stand back! Wind tunnel!
as they battle the evil demon, Naraku.
Go ahead. Try to cut me down. Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
Their quest, find the last shards of the Shikan Jewel, or die trying.
You cannot win. See about that.
It's going to take extensive training.
We don't have time for any of that, and you know it!
Come on, let's go!
Right!
Toonami is proud to present Inuyasha, the final act, starting next Saturday night at 2. This is the way the world ends. Only Toonami on Adult Swim.
Prepare yourself!
the finale to Inuyasha, the final act. I think I remember seeing a
rushed and bad.
Yep.
So
like the story itself, interesting enough, an okay ending, but they just rush through too much stuff. It's just breakneck pace, and it's just not an enjoyable watch.
Yeah, the original Inuyasha didn't really seem to suffer from like any major like filler fatigue, and so then to have the final act, like, I mean, it was 26 episodes, but like it should have been somewhere in the realm of like 39 to 52. Like it should have been expanded by 25 to 50%. You know, the story could have supported
the final episodes of that series.
We're not intimidated by demonic threats either.
I'm afraid this is as far as you go.
We don't have time to play games with you!
You crazy man!
Up to Hanoji Academy.
I see you've decided to take part in my system. Will I take apart your system and bring it down on top of you?
Yeah, the story could have supported it. I mean, I'll give them credit. The dub was good because they brought back the Ocean cast that they could get because, as I recall, Kagome was recast because her original actress had retired. So I don't know. I mean, it's fine. Like, it's not great, but it's definitely below the original for sure. Like that's undoubtable.
Oh yeah.
Would you say?
Oh yeah.
And would you say the way Inuyasha ended was good, or I don't know?
It was an okay ending.
Yeah, like the ending itself, it's not bad. It's just
satisfactory enough. It's a happy ending.
The overall pacing of the season was just the biggest problem.
Yeah. It was just a mess.
Yeah, decent story, bad execution.
So would y'all put in B or A?
No,
or C?
Not B.
Yeah, I'd have to go C.
Yeah. I would go pretty low in C, honestly.
Would you put it below Blue Exorcist?
I think Blue Exorcist. Yeah, above Blue Exorcist.
Yeah.
Above Blue Exorcist or below?
Above.
Okay. All right. And now, so this next couple portion is actually kind of, I guess, special to me or a little bit important because the next few shows here would be my first animes, aside from DBZ Kai. Because when I discovered Toonami, after DBZ Kai...
Fear is freedom! Subjugation is liberation! And you will all surrender to... Sorry to interrupt, but I hear you're the queen bee at this school. I want to know if you're the one who killed my dad.
How dare you! Get her!
Out of my way!
Don't you know a Goku uniform when you see one?
Using the Goku uniforms as our weapons, we will carve a path to humanity's future.
I'm sorry, Father. If If only I was strong enough, I'd beat it out of her!
You should be careful what you wish for.
Who's there? What the hell? Is that a sailor uniform?
Put me on! Put me on!
They're called life fibers. They're living fibers woven into clothing for combat. These special fibers enhance strength and reveal special abilities.
Is Zenket's one of those?
The new girls come back.
This time, I'm gonna knock you all on your asses! Let's do this, Zenket!
Whoa, what's she wearing?
How dare you come to school wearing that?
I'm gonna rip that bikini to shreds! Impossible, 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 impossible!
Okay, Satsuki Kiryuin! Did you or didn't you kill my father? Then I guess I'll have to beat the truth out of her. I can't wait.
You were totally badass, all swinging that scissor blade around, dressed up like a hooker.
Shut it!
Came Kill la Kill. Kill la Kill was my second anime behind DBZ Kai. And I made sure to, and yeah, I know, trust me, like, everyone was asked. That's a hell of a jump.
That was a heck of an anime 101 for you.
Yeah, because like
fighting action into fan service central.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So like the thing is for me was that it wasn't even episode 1. I think it was like episode 6 or something. And like I actually had a friend on Skype. Yeah, Skype when that existed, watching it with me, and I haven't seen it since Toonami. So I rewatched it before doing this thing. And I'm glad I did because the thing is when I watched it then I wasn't an anime guy or didn't know much, so I kind of was lost on a lot of things. So I'm glad I see it now with, understanding way more than I did back then. But also when I rewatched it, it was clear to me that Toonami made some cuts when it aired because there were some scenes that I just was why like I think y'all know what I'm talking about. I like that one.
Yeah. I'm glad Toonami cut that out.
Yeah, that was a good call on their part.
Ugh, just so gross.
So, and another thing with Kill la Kill was that I don't know if it was the first, but wasn't it like a landmark title for Trigger? Wasn't it? It was like a make or break type thing. Like
it was their first anime.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
I thought because I could have like it was like a make or break situation for them. So like if it didn't succeed,
Oh wait, didn't the Little Witch Academia OVA exist first?
They had the short film a year before, but I mean, so yeah, technically, and they also did Inferno Cop. So I mean, they did have a few like it was their first TV series.
Yeah.
So I rewatched it, and then it's crazy. Like I'm glad also, and then also I didn't know this, but apparently the physical release of the show had an extra episode in there, a 25th episode. So like Silver sent me that. So it's like kind of crazy to me that like like after 9 years I got a bit of closure and like seeing like I guess the epilogue to it. But Kill la Kill, I enjoyed it. I loved it a lot, and it has its fans too. Like there's a reason 10 years later it still is like talked about like to this day. And for me, it holds a special place, because it was the second anime that I've seen, and it was like on the same night that I discovered Toonami too. So for me, I would put it somewhere in A, but I want to know how you guys feel about it.
It's worth an A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't play the video game.
Will always be like
it's not good.
That's too bad.
Yeah, I mean it's the game is like story wise it's fine because it's basically just the anime story and the actual like graphics are really good, but the gameplay on it's just super clunky. So
yeah. So there's like barely any characters, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
Mm.
But yeah, like show wise, I'd go with an A. I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, there's a reason that like it's such a flagship for Trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So where on A would you put it then? Personally, I think it would go above Sailor Moon, behind Black Lagoon.
Maybe a
I'm okay
little
with,
high, but I could roll with that.
yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right. All right. Next up.
Sunny, up at 6 today. First one up. My name is Hana. And this is how my days usually start.
Hana, we do not raise our children to cover up their failures.
Heads up! We just don't need you here. And no one cares about you anyway.
Someone from down that road is going to come for me. Yeah, that'll never happen.
Come on, Hana. Are you gonna sit there all day?
Authorities have identified the woman who broke out of the high-security and purportedly escape-proof Diamandra Special Penitentiary early yesterday morning. Melandro should be considered armed and extremely dangerous.
Hello, mother. Hello, daughter. Hello, mayhem.
500 for each one of those traps! You shoot them on sight!
Nothing to worry about, kid.
Michiko and Hachin, premiering next Saturday night at 1.
Hold on tight.
Only Toonami on Adult Swim.
Michiko and Hachin. This, so like, for me, like, because at the time that I tuned into Toonami, Michiko and Hachin didn't air yet, and at the time, I only watched DBZ Kai and Kill la Kill, so I stopped watching after those two aired. And I think Final Act came to an end, and then Michiko and Hachin replaced it. And I remember seeing the promo for it, and I'm like, ooh, this looks cool. So then I watched it. I saw the first 5 or 6 episodes, but I then kind of stopped because like there was a period of time where I wasn't watching Toonami. And then I came back to it, and ironically, it was the last like 3 episodes, like when Intruder 2 was happening. So I missed like a good chunk of it. So I rewatched that because like Michiko and Hachin, I missed a good chunk, and I had a hard time remembering a lot of it. So glad I rewatched that. I had a lot of fun with it, and I don't know, like it's hard to say exactly, because I was also wondering, like, is Michiko like her biological mother? Like, because that's never really explained. But like in the end, when they reunited, that actually was kind of teary a bit. But I wanted to see, what do you guys think about Michiko and Hachin?
So I'm gonna need to flow with this one.
Oh,
because Michiko and Hachin is one of my top favorite animes of all time. Specifically because in my community, the Black community, we never had like an anime that's catered to us. And I feel like Michiko and Hachin and another show we're about to talk about real soon did that for me. And I love the story. And fun fact, I didn't even know this until later last year, that the character Michiko is actually based on the singer Aaliyah.
Huh.
Yeah. And that was man, I'm getting emotional about it. It's crazy, but yeah, I would personally my personal taste would put it in S rank, but I'll be okay with an A rank. But the show,
I do.
That show,
go ahead. I was going to say I do think it deserves A rank, but you were saying.
Oh, I'm just saying that I just see that I just feel like the show is just the storytelling, the animation, everything about it, the emotional moments in it was just top notch.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there because there were some moments that kind of got me, but not gonna lie, like because not only just with Michiko and Hachin, but Michiko and I forgot her name, but the police officer that she grew up with. So they're kind of like they're kind of like sisters, but then like they went their separate ways, and then at the end they were.
Phil would
walking
call her
away.
Jumbo, but that's not her name.
But yeah, how does everyone else feel about it?
I think it's a great show. I mean, the director Sayo Yamamoto has like the 3 shows that have been done that she's done are Michiko and Hachin, Lupin the Third, The Woman Called Fujiko Mine, and Yuri on Ice. All 3 of which, like, I've never watched Yuri on Ice, but I know it's extremely popular. But like Michiko and Hachin and Lupin, The Woman Called Fujiko Mine, both just have so much style to them. Like, they're just so good.
Yeah, I find it funny that they tried to get The Woman Called Fujiko Mine, and they couldn't because too much boobies, too much boobies had it.
Such a shame. So then I guess we all feel A tier.
Yeah, A tier.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
Where would y'all put it? High, low, like?
Would you,
maybe like middle?
Yeah.
Would you put Would you put it above Attack on Titan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan below Big O. So, next up.
Oh, man! The capital's even bigger than I thought!
Our land is plagued by corruption.
Oh, how can they do this to people?
It's the minister who supports this sort of cruelty.
That man is a demon! Can't any of you see that? Please!
I am going to survive this hell no matter what happens.
We can't shoot innocent people!
Tell me about the boy.
He's gonna be joining us.
I haven't agreed to anything.
If we don't do something about the scum terrorizing the capital, then it's never gonna get cleaned up.
You're done.
So it's our job to take out those bastards whenever we get the chance.
That was awesome!
Damn straight.
How would you like to be the newest member of Night Raid?
You're gonna kill me if I refuse to join, right?
Your choice.
I beg you, have mercy on us.
I'm not sure I'm familiar with that.
It's like you guys are taking out the trash, killing off the bad guys one by one.
You're a rogue team of assassins for the sake of justice!
No matter how you describe it, we're still murderers.
Any given moment, every one of us could be forced to atone for the blood that we've spilled.
Are you prepared to risk your life?
I want to do it! Please allow me to be part of Night Raid!
Works for me. Now let's go punish this scumbag. Move out!
Akame ga Kill premieres next Saturday at 12:30 on Adult Swim.
So, so Akame ga Kill. So it's funny. So I had this on my list of shows to watch, but when I was getting close to time, I decided to drop it. We recorded, but we only did the Cartoon Network stuff. So I'm like, well, you know what? Since I have a bit of extra time, let me watch a few more. One of them being Akame ga Kill. So I didn't watch it, but I knew 2 things about it. One, everyone loves Esdeath. The freaks out there love Esdeath. And the second and the second one is that everyone dies. And
you forgot everybody loves bowling.
So when I started the show, I already had this mentality in my head.
Bulat was his name.
Everyone,
so I had the guy from Legend of Korra.
Jesus. So I had this mentality in my head that's like, don't get too attached to anyone, and oh my god, so one other thing I should note was that this isn't the first piece of material that I saw the creator, because recently I saw a simulcast for a show on High Dive called Chained Soldier. I don't know if any of y'all have seen that. I knew, God, yeah, that. And I knew
what
it
are we
was
putting that on, Toonami?
Oh my god, that would be amazing. No, so I knew that. So then, like, when I'm watching this stuff, I'm like, you know what? Esdeath is just the prototype to like a lot of these characters in Chained Soldier, and I enjoyed some of it. I liked some of the beginning stuff, and like him joining the night raid. But like as soon as episode 6 started killing off people, I was like, here we go already. And I don't know. So I liked the first half too. And I liked the first half. The second half was decent, but then when we got to like when I got to the final stretch, I lost it because it's just like all out of nowhere the child prince goes mad and turns into a big ass kaiju, and Tatsumi fucking any Sonic fans here, did anyone ever play Sonic in the Black Knight? Because that's what it reminded me of.
I did. I know what you're talking about too.
The freaking when he pulls out the golden armor, and I just swear to God, like I thought of the final scene, the final fight, like the boss fight in that game, and I'm just like I literally screamed out loud. So this is literally the ending to Sonic in the Black Knight, and I was like, what the fuck is going on anymore? And then he stopped it, and that's how he died. I was literally like, he stopped the monster, and I'm like, you're telling me that's how he dies? Like millions of ways to go, and that's how he. I was literally like, I was so fucking flabbergasted. I'm like, are you serious? Are you like, oh my god? And then the last episode, I'll admit, was pretty cool. Akame having that showdown with Esdet, that was pretty cool. And then when she put the sword on her, I'm like, oh, so this is how she dies. She's gonna do like some suicide move that's gonna give her like a big ass power boost, and then she lives after that. I'm like, are you serious? But then I'm like, oh wait, Leone, she's still alive too. Nope, she gets shot by freaking minister guy, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you?
That was the worst.
I was like, this girl has like. This girl has like freaking superhuman strength. The guy shoots like her belt, which gives her that power, and all of a sudden she's. This is bullshit. That's so bullshit. It's just the ending of that show was so fucking bullshit. And I hear that it did deviate from the source material, so the source material is different. And I learned some of the differences, like certain characters don't die in the manga, and. But I'm judging the anime. The anime was like I liked it in the first half, but by the end of it, I was like, this is so fucking stupid.
They ain't gonna lie, they had us in the first half.
They had us in the first half. Not gonna lie. So for me, I put this low C, high D. How do y'all feel on it?
I didn't.
My appreciation for this show has actually increased with time. But
I think for like a mindless fun show, it's fine. For shows Toonami's run, not really my favorite.
Put it behind Zatch Bell.
Here lies Tatsumi. He never scored.
That's right. I think he does in the manga.
He does. Logan showed.
He has an actual relationship with Mine.
Yeah, which that pissed me off too. That like she does this cool thing, like in it, like somewhat of a Dragon Ball Z beam struggle that looked so cool. They kiss, and I'm like, yes, let's go. And then she dies, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Fucking kidding
garbage.
Me. It's fucking garbage. Show's fucking garbage. Speaking of, not speaking of. On the opposite side, though, next.
I got a call from the school today. They said you left early.
Something happened?
Just felt a little sick, that's all. I can't tell Mom or Dad about this. I think I'm crazy. What the hell is going on? I can't tell anyone about this.
There a problem with your hand?
No, it's fine. I don't know how the hell you got in there, but you're coming out. What did you do to my hand?
I was eating it. I sense one of my own.
There's more of you?
Your host is not optimal.
It wants to fight.
What? You want to fight that thing?
There's no choice. If it kills you, I will die as well. We're in this together.
That one is dangerous. He must be eliminated.
This cannot be happening! Did you just save my life?
The only life I consider important is my own, so I chose the safest option.
When I first took control of this human host, I instantly received a directive.
What did you do with my daughter?
To devour your entire species.
Parasite, starting next Saturday at 1 a.m.
Looks like someone's terrified.
Get infected.
Parasite the Maxim. So I said earlier that when I was watching a lot of these shows, 2 shows caught me completely by surprise. So one of them was Cashin Sins, the other was Parasite. So with the thing is with Parasite, because I was watching Toonami at the time, and they had the promo for Parasite, but because I was a little scaredy bitch boy and saw, people's heads getting eaten and, body parts being flying around, I was like, ooh, I don't like this. And I saw the first episode of Parasite and I put it down. And I didn't go back to it. But I'm like, things are different now. I'm going to watch Parasite. And I did. And I'm like, holy shit. Like this, I don't want to say it's peak, but it's definitely high up there. Like I had so many emotions when I was going through the show.
I think if it wasn't for the fucking dubstep music, this show would be an all-time classic. The OST.
Freaking Skrillex music. There were a lot of moments that I really loved in the show. Like I can definitely see why it's on a lot of people's recommendations. And fucking yet again, when I finished it, I was like, I can't believe I slept on this for so long. So yeah, Parasite completely took me by surprise. I'm like, when I turned it away, I didn't give it the time of day, and then here I am now finally paying attention to it, and yeah, it's literally one of the best animes out there. How do y'all feel on Parasite?
I like the show.
I like Parasite a lot. I think it is a really great show, and I'm glad Toonami aired it. I watched the simulcast when it was airing, and all of a sudden I was like, oh man, this would be so good on Toonami. And then Sentai got it, I was like, well, that's probably not going to happen. And then we get the dang food truck in Anime Expo. I'm like, yes!
There was a food truck?
Yeah.
Yep.
The food truck that spoiled that Toonami was licensing Parasite.
Oh. I didn't see. You see, I wasn't on the internet as much as y'all back then, so I had no idea on this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think they made a mention of that at their San Diego Comic-Con because I think they made some passing comment. Well, a food truck spoiled our announcement, so here's Parasite.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
it's like, yes.
It's also one of those rare gets for Sentai where it's not in their usual, I don't want to say, horny stuff. Because,
yeah, but there's sex.
You're not wrong there.
My guy actually scored, unlike Tatsubi.
You're not wrong there. Okay, but where would y'all rank Parasite?
Parasite's really good.
I would put it high A, maybe low S, but that's just me.
I think high A would be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
put it behind Black Lagoon.
Black Lagoon.
That was what I was thinking too. Yeah.
Yeah, I it did.
Put them Madhouse shows back to back.
Yeah, I was also gonna say too, because I look at I see Studio Madhouse a lot when I'm watching these older shows, and I'm like, does Studio Madhouse still exist? Because I never see. They do. All right.
They just recently did Viren.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
So next up.
Starts Saturday, November 7th at midnight.
Detecting a large ship, unknown design. It's firing on us. Brace for impact.
Sarah, open fire.
There's definitely a life form aboard that vessel.
I'm not down with any visitors who don't call first.
Be careful, Tom.
Intruder 2 starts this Saturday night at midnight.
The first total immersion event in years. The first one in the Adult Swim era of Toonami. Intruder 2. And I actually remember seeing Intruder 2 somewhat when it was happening, but I didn't see all the episodes, and I was also lost because I'm like, who the fuck is that as the intruder? Only to realize years later after seeing Intruder 1, oh, that's Tom 1, voiced by Sonny Strait. Holy shit. But I want to ask you guys, because y'all were probably there when it was happening, how do y'all feel about Intruder 2?
It's still the best total immersion event Toonami has ever done.
Yeah, put it above Intruder 1.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the greatest total immersion event.
They'll never top this.
Yeah,
Nope,
it's
never.
funny because it's like it's you wouldn't expect it to be able to beat the first one because it relies so heavily on the existence of the first one, but it does.
Evil Tom Truder being the antagonist was just so good.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
And
if
like
they ever bring back Evil Tom again,
and he made him blow up the ship. There were stakes.
Yeah. And like Sarah was dead partially. And also one thing I really like, because the graphic designer in me gets all giddy when they do this, is like when they adjust the packaging to show things are bad, and then each week an episode plays. When an episode plays, it got worse and worse, and then like when he blew up the ship, the packaging was just non-binary code for like an entire week.
Yeah.
Like
now that's total immersion.
Yeah,
I really liked that. And then it got me so angry when like they did the Forge and they did like nothing. Like, but we'll get there.
The other thing that worked with it was they proved that, because the Cartoon Network era ones were basically like a week-long event, so you only had to go a day before you got the next installment.
Yeah.
So like with this, it was it was spread out because we obviously only got them weekly, but it showed that like they could really deliver on that dramatic tension and make you interested in watching it week by week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And another thing about the bumpers is like a lot of the scenes they use for the bumpers tied into the episode of The Intruder, which I thought that was very, very clever.
Yeah. I mean, because like the static and all that got like way worse as it went on, and then he blew up the ship, so like it was just nothing but code for like that 1 week.
This is honestly like peak effort Adult Swim Toonami.
I
don't think it's ever been as good since.
Nope.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Bumpers
next.
It takes more than an insane intergalactic blob creature with an obsession to stop Toonami, baby. So, you ready?
I'm ready. Say the words, Tom.
Oh yeah, I still love this